Hello friends, in this video I am going to explain how will you carry forward data from one activity to another activity. So let me start building a new Android Studio project. It's MD activity. Click finish. To continue, let me change the font size. Now it is ready. So here this is my main activity, and here under the resource folder I have my layout activity main.xml, and here I have a hello world. Removing it. Now here I am going to place some text fields here. Here you can see text field. I am taking some plain text. We will save that. Layout to width is match parent. You can see it itself, here itself, match parent, and how it will be modified. So then one more text field I am going to take it, plain text. This also we are going to save that instead of the wrap content, match parent. Now I am going to place a button below to the text field. Here I am going to name it as label and button as ID as button. So now this is our layout for the first activity. Now I have to create a new activity also, because we have now only one activity file. So to create a new activity, either about the app module or about the package, you may do the right click, say new activity, basic activity. Then here you can specify. So it is not an MD activity, so I am going to do it once again. Activity, MD activity. Some name will I am going to take it. So let me name it as second activity. Second activity, and click finish. We can see that another activity called second activity is created, and we have an XML file also. So now in the first activity's XML file I have two text fields, 1 and 2. So I'll be entering some data here in these two text fields. When I click submit, these two data we are going to move to the second activity, and we are going to fix it. So I'm going to the second activity. To fix the data here, I'm going to use the text view here. So in this text view we are going to set the data, what it is. So right now you can see that there is a text, new text, let it be. So go to the main activity. Now we are going to find our edit text objects. Find edit text object. For that, find view by id, r dot id dot. The first one is edit text, and we can do the typecast edit text. Set that typecast to edit text. Same thing for the second one. This is for the first one. So I'm just copying and pasting here. Second one. So this is to edit text too. And we can check it whether the names are right or not, wrong. The first edit text we can see here, select here, this part will be highlighted. We can see that its ID is edit text. That is why here I mentioned that r.id.edit text. For the second one we can see here the second edit, just select here, you can see its ID is edit text 2. That is why here I mentioned that r.id.edit text. And now we have to find the button object. For that we have the method again find v by id. We will check what is the id for that button. Id is same button. So r.id. button, then we can store it in a reference variable of type button with necessary typecast. Now I register the button with button for event handling. For that we have the method called set on click listener. On click listener. Now what we have to do is come back to here. When you click this button, we have to read the data from edit text and edit text 2. So read the data from edit text, then read the data from edit text 2. For that we can say that right now you can see that it is a local variable. Local variable cannot be used directly here, it should be final. So I am going to type like this edit text. You can see that the moment I entered here, automatically it is the code is generated, the code is changed as final. And here also you can see that second one how it is changed. So first we will see this one, get text, and this we will store it in a string data. String data 1 equal. Now it is not compatible, so convert to the string object by calling toString method. And here also we are going to say that data 2 equal the second one. You can see that now it is not final. The moment I select edit text, you can see that it is converted as final. This is another feature of Android Studio which I like very much. Dot get text, convert into string object. So we got the data. Now we have to pass this data to the new activity. So we have to move to the new activity. As I explained earlier in the previous video, how to move from one activity to another activity. The same thing I am going to do. So for that, first create the indent object. For that, indent new indent object. So we have to pass two information. One is the context, another one is what is your second activity. Its name is second activity. So again, second activity dot class. The object is ready. Then we can start the new activity, start the second activity by calling the method start activity and pass the indent as an object. So now the indent is ready, and by calling the start activity method we can start the new activity. So in between this, what we have to do is we have to stuff our data 1 and data 2 into the indent, because here the only one mechanism to pass the data from one activity to another activity in a very simple manner is through the indent, because indent is the messaging object. So what we can do is, before calling the start activity method, fill the indent object with the data 1 and data 2, whatever data you want. You can have a number of data there. So how will you do that? So now I'm going to put data 1 into indent object. For that, take the indent object, and there is a method called put extra. Put extra. You can see that this is the syntax. The first argument, some name you can give for your data. That name will be assigned to that particular data. Later, by using this name only, we have to retrieve that value from the indent from the second activity. So first is, the first argument should be a string object. So I'm going to say that some name. We'll say that first. Then, so the second we can pass boolean, byte, character. So right now I'm going to follow this. Now this form. The second one is also string one, because I have here string data 1. So like that we can add one by one. Indent dot the next data, put extra. Second one I am going to name it as second. Then data 2. So we added 2 data into the indent. You can see the method is very interesting. Put extra data there. Then we are starting the indent. Now, so what about the second activity? Second activity, we have a screen like this. We have to receive the data from, that is the data 1 and data 2, and we need to set the data here. So for that, let me take the second activity. The first step is, we have to get the indent object. This activity is generated by an indent object. So that indent object we can receive it here. That is the first step. Get the indent object. For that, there is a method called get indent. We can see the explanation. It returns the indent that started this activity, that is our second activity. So get indent. We can say that indent control space, then indent equal get indent. Now we have to retrieve the data from indent, because our indent object has our necessary data which we passed from first activity. Retrieve the data from indent object. For that, use the object indent. There is a method called get string extra. This method you should use only if you are adding string data into the indent. When you call put extra method, you are giving some name. I'm not talking about that argument. The second argument, if the second argument is a string data, then we can call the method get string extra. If the second argument is a double, then we have a different standard method. We can see that get double extra, and name and the default value we have to pass. So right now I am going to continue with get string extra because I am passing some string data, and what name you are bound for data 1. Here you can see that some name you have given, that is first. So by using the name only we have to call in the string representation, and we can see what is the return type of that. It gives the string data. So we will say that string s equal indent dot get string, and get the next one also. String s1 equal indent dot get string extra, and its name is second. So what we have to do, so this is our second activities layout. Here we have a text view. Here we need to set those two data. For that, in the second activity.java, first we have to get that object text view. Find the text view object. For that we have the method find view by id, r dot id dot, and this is the id. We'll check that. We can see that its id is text view. So, and we can store it in that reference variable with the explicit typecast. Then we can say that text view dot set text yes, and we will concatenate, then again plus s1. So both data. Now we are going to check it. So now let me run the app. So this is our main activity. Our indent object is ready. Then we are stuffing the data, starting the activity. In the second activity, we are retrieving that indent, and from the indent we are retrieving our necessary data and setting in the text view. So now it is the gradle build is running. We can see that our expected outcome build is almost ready. Now the APK is installed. Our first activity is coming up. So I'm going to enter like this. Computer. Then I'm going to say that something like that. Submit, and we can see in the next screen we got the data from the first screen computer and column. So this is how to transfer data from one activity to another activity. Thank you for watching this.